Hi everyone, Eugene with National Strategic here, and today I have a real treat. I'm sitting down with Stipe Miocic, and Stipe is the UFC Heavyweight Champion of the world. And it's not every single day that you get an opportunity to meet someone who has accomplished the level of success that Stipe has in his particular field. And I think that we as business owners can all learn from someone who has truly put in the time, the effort, the perseverance, and all of the different things that it takes to accomplish this level of success. So Stipe, I wanted to sit down with you. I wanted to share it with some of our audience, some of the business owners who are watching this, and really wanted to have a quick interview with you to learn a little bit more about what it took to get to the top, what your day looks like on a daily basis, because I think we're going to find a lot of interesting parallels between the life of a business owner and the life of a pro athlete.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I'm always busy. That's what it is. But that's always a good problem to have. I don't like being bored. I like doing something to always make myself better.
That's great. So I'm sure that you've had a lot of challenges along the way, Stipe. How do you persevere through the tough times?
There's a lot of things that help me with that. One thing especially having is just my family, my friends, close friends, just always having my back no matter how bad the problem was, and just having a good head on my shoulders at all times and knowing that it's going to get better. There's people that have worse things happen to them. And I always thought about that, and just making sure that tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah, and having a support system around you is
huge
what you
support.
started
That was
with.
huge.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
When we talk about challenges, Stipe, what are some decisions that you have to make on a daily basis? And also, what are some decisions that you've made in the past that have kind of led you down the wrong path or have caused you some difficulty?
What's that saying? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
That's right.
I mean, there's a lot of things I've done that, decisions I made that I shouldn't have made. And, you just learn from them, you just got to take it day by day. Like I always say, every day's a new day. You just got to take it day by day, and just what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and just take it day by day. Honestly, it's real simple. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's pretty much what it was.
No, and you're right. Every single time that you make a decision that goes the wrong way, you end up turning it into an opportunity to get better.
Yeah, and also, and if it was a negative, I find a way to turn it into a positive, next time that happens, or, help someone out if it wasn't me, if they're in the same position.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of character and a lot of positive energy to keep yourself going through the tough times, right?
100%. I'm always laughing and joking, messing with people just because, why go through life pissed off?
Right. Stipe, I'm sure you get a lot of great coaching on a daily basis, a lot of great advice that you follow. Is there some advice that was given to you a while back that if you had followed, you would have gotten to your pinnacle of success a lot faster, or anything that you can think of?
No, nothing that I can't think of offhand, but nothing would. We all have a path. It's fate. It's what it is. That's why I look at it. But I think the harder you work at it, the better it'll get, and the faster you get there. And I think, if there's anything, if I would have listened to it different, that I would have got there faster. I think, a couple things, I did different in a fight. I should do different in a fight. I lost 2 fights I shouldn't have lost, and I did lose. But also losing those 2 fights made me stronger and made me better the person I am today.
That's great. And, taking everything as an opportunity creates a stronger path and foundation for success.
Oh, no question, 100%.
Stipe, from your point of view, I'm sure there's a lot of prep work that you have to do before you ever go into the cage with someone. From a strategy standpoint, you got to know your opponent, and I'm sure you have to understand exactly where what all their strengths and weaknesses look like before you set up your strategy. Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, just like you're like with businesses and stuff, like you all have employees and stuff like that. Well, like you'd say, my employees are my coaches, which they have higher, than me, but they're the ones that guide me. But they all sit down and we all watch film together. They always break it down to themselves, and then they show me video on what we need to work on. So before even the fight starts or training camp starts, we already have a predetermined of what we're going to do to make ourselves better, and what we're going to do that they're doing that we can capitalize on and win the fight. So that's what I love about my coaching. So before every fight I walk in, I have a game plan. I have a plan A, plan B, plan C. So one of those plans is going to work eventually. So we always have a different plan. And before a fight, I don't even really think about it. I just think about just life in general, having fun, and just having a good time out there.
That's great. What's interesting about what you just said is, having plan A, plan B, plan C, that sounds a lot like business strategy. being able to say, okay, here's what I think my opponent's going to do, or here's what the marketplace is going to do, here's what certain things are going to happen that might be against me, here's certain advantages that I have that I might bring to the table, but still, and not just counting on those merits to guide you all the way, but also having plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. How deep do you plan, and how far advanced do you plan for those types of things?
Well, yeah, with planning it goes into about 8 to 10 weeks prior. My coaches usually start breaking it down the day of the fight gets announced, or they're talking to us about the fight. So within 8 to 10 weeks, within a week, they already have what we're doing. So, for the first 4 weeks of camp usually is just, getting in shape, getting better, working on stuff, and then the next 4 is pretty much just, working on their flaws and things that we capitalize and things that they're good at that, I should watch for. And then, and the last 2 is just, mentally preparing myself for the night.
Stipe, let's talk about a day in the life. Now, how does your effort inside the gym translate to your day-to-day activities?
I train twice a day a lot, so I train, come home, eat, clean the house a little bit, then take a nap, and then I'm always doing something, which is fine with me. But I love life. I love what I do. I'm always happy. There's no reason, like I said, no reason to be pissed off. Throughout every day of your life, I want to bring smiles to people's faces. I want people to have them feel better about themselves, and whatever I do, if I can make one person smile all day, that's fine with me, and that's why I'm always happy through life, and that's why I like the gym. I was always happy.
Did you always have a positive attitude, or is it something that you developed over time?
Yeah, I think I've always had a positive attitude. It's just, I think my mother raised me well. I think she said that work hard and be happy with what you do. And that's where your success will come. And yeah, I think it got stronger as I got older, because I was still young and naive. But as I got older, I realized just be a nice guy. Nice guys do finish first.
Yeah. A lot of our business owners who are watching, they've already accomplished a certain level of success. Now that you're at the top, what do you plan to do next? How motivated are you to keep going, and what's next for you?
What's next for me is September 10th, in Cleveland. And what keeps me motivated is that I like being at the top, I like winning, and I don't like losing. I want to be the champ for a long, long, long time, and that's not going to change. And I'm going to do whatever I got to do to, be at the top. And like I said, losing sucks.
Do you feel like you'll work harder, or
I'll work harder than I've ever worked harder before. I don't ever want to falter at all. I want this thing to keep running my way. So I like having it here.
Yeah, it's really cool, because you don't just take it for granted. You work even harder than you'd worked before in order to just maintain that success or keep it going.
Yeah, of course. And the guys below me are looking up at me, trying to get to me. They want what I want, and they're not going to get it. So unfortunately, it sucks for them. So until they were retired, that's the only time they can get it.
That's awesome, man. I'm sure that in order to become to get to the top, you had to become an expert in multiple areas. In order to become the champ, you probably had to study and become really, really good at different things that you do, not just be good at one thing. Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, mixed martial arts is, mixed martial arts. That's why I love my coaches. We have so many different coaches. We have grappling, we have wrestling, we have jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, boxing, grappling. I can go for days of just different stuff, shoot fighting. If it wasn't for my coaches and learning everything, I wouldn't, I'd evolve like I did. And if it wasn't for my coaches, I wouldn't be at the top.
Great. Stipe, not a lot of people get to where you have, especially in the level of success, in the sportsmanship that you've been able to demonstrate, and the career that you've had. How did you pick this route for yourself, as opposed to, doing what everybody else is doing?
Yeah, I got done with college. I was going back to school for firefighting and all that stuff, and I was training in the gym. Training people, and the owner was friends with the guy, Dan the Bobo, was getting ready for a fight, so I helped him out. And I love mixed martial arts. I started training just because it was something to do. It was a team aspect. Even though it's individual, I was still, we had a team, we had practices, and I liked coming home, being tired, and going to bed, not going out and partying like with my other friends. I just, I loved it, and I like doing stuff, and I do my own thing. I don't worry about what other people want to do, and just do the typical 9 to 5.
So let's talk about the time that you decided to make the belt your dream. At one point, you kind of just went off the standard beaten path that everybody else follows, and like a lot of business owners, you just decided that, hey, I'm going to kind of let go of the dock and make this my dream. So at what point did the belt become your dream, Stipe?
I think the belt became my dream is when I signed with the UFC. I won a couple fights. I was doing well, but you still don't know how you do with the big boys. And so I signed with my UFC. I won a couple fights, and then I was like, I belong here. This is my sport. I know I can do well. I won a lot of fights. I lost those 2 fights, but those 2 fights what made me stronger, made me believe I know I belong. And here we are today.
Yeah, let's talk about the amount of confidence that it takes to get to where you are. Let's talk about how you use that confidence to help you get to the next level.
Yeah, I think confidence is everything. If you walk in confident, anything you do in a job interview, a fight, walking in the grocery store, I don't know, just anything. I think having confidence makes people, like, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. This guy's here, he's a real deal. And when I started with UFC, I wasn't confident. I was confident in my abilities, but I wasn't confident in winning. And so as the more I did it, the more confident I got. When I fought one guy, I lost to him. The next fight, I was even more confident. Then I lost to another guy, and then after that, I was like, no one's gonna beat me again. Nope, not gonna happen. I'm too good, trained too hard. They don't have what I have.
Yeah, and you talked a little bit about how hard you train. How hard do you have to keep working at being the best even once you're there?
It's the same thing in life. If you want to be good at something, you got to go beyond it. You got to sacrifice to, go beyond a limit that no one wants to do, because people are okay with doing just the bare minimum, but if you want to excel at something or be the champion at something, you have to give sacrifice and go beyond limits that you would never think you'd reach.
Yeah, you mentioned sacrifice. That's really key, because a lot of business owners really, they sacrifice a lot to get to where they are, especially in the early phases of their business. Talk about the role of sacrifice in your life.
Sacrificing is just missing family outings and stuff, important stuff. And my first UFC fight, I missed my close cousin's wedding. I had no choice. Just stuff like that, and training and going out of town and just doing a lot of things that that just got in the way of a lot of stuff. But in the long run, that's what helped me become a better fighter.
Yeah, and as you talk about that, let's think through like all the amount, the massive amount. I just want people to realize the gravity of the massive amount of training that you spend to make yourself better. Everybody, some people just kind of get to a certain level and they get copacetic, and they say, okay, this is where I am and I'm fine and I'm pretty good. You constantly train to make yourself better, not just maintain, right?
Yeah, I'm not even in camp right now. I'm still training, trying to get better, trying to involve in. Because that's one thing. No matter if it's MMA or a business, there's another business that's competing that's evolving faster, and you take one day off, that person is catching up, or if not past you. You don't ever take that chance.
That's a great attitude, because you never just rest on your laurels. That's awesome. As we think about business ownership, everybody has lessons, right? So from your perspective, what are some of the biggest lessons that you've had, and what are some of the biggest lessons that you could leave our audience with today?
There's only one thing that comes to mind with everything. You just don't take anything for granted. That's it right there. Don't think that you're okay or everything. Just don't take anything for granted, because one minute you can be on top of the world, the next minute you can crash down. I could literally walk down the stairs right now, hurt my hand, and never fight again. We don't know. So just don't take anything for granted. That's awesome insight, awesome advice, and hopefully this has been meaningful and very useful to everybody watching, because you understand what it's like to be in the mind of someone who is at the top of their game, at the top of their sport. And as you aspire to be at the top of your game and at the top of your business and at the top of your industry, you start thinking about what human characteristics we all have in common that really help us maximize all of our success. Stipe, good luck in your next fight, man. Thanks, brother.